Hello and welcome back. In the comments you have asked me to go through the 690 dashboard. Here we go. All right, let's get it started. And from the very beginning you will see a warning light about the side stand and then another one about the emergency off switch. But you can cancel both and you go directly to the screen that is a standard for the street mode. Interestingly, I can press the joystick up or down and go into my favorites. You can customize this, so you can set many different information here. I have just a few, like my average fuel consumption, the battery level, or the coolant temperature. But you can set it up as you wish. Those 6 places are for you to customize. When I go to the main menu, you see that the first on top are the riding modes. And there are 3 ride modes, the street, the off-road, and rally. And each of them is customizable. So on the very beginning you see the main information that, for example, I have my traction control set for street, I have road ABS and quick shifter is on in the street mode. But I can still change it. So for example, if I go to configure street mode, I can change the ABS mode. I can turn off the rear ABS if I want to. I can change the traction control or motor slip regulation if I want to. So from street to off, street to off. Yeah, there are 2 settings only. I can enable or disable quick shifter. I can also change the display mode for the street mode. So this is the standard that you have just seen a few seconds ago, but I can also change it to the reduced view of the display. I will show you that later on in the rally mode. And that's it for configuring street mode. Now let's change the mode to off-road. You already see that my traction control has changed to off-road, my ABS has also changed to off-road, quick shifter is still on. And if I want to enable this now, it will ask me to deactivate kill switch first. I will do it for a second. And now, very important information, motor slip reduction is disabled in current ABS mode. And that makes sense because if I have the off-road ABS, and it is not working on the rear wheel, then motor slip reduction should not work at all in this setting. And we can still configure off-road mode. So I can change traction control from off-road to off, quick shifter on off, or the display mode again from standard to reduced. And that is it for the off-road mode. Let's go to the rally mode. Still the controversial part of the KTM strategy of just selling this as additionally paid software. So I see the throttle response, slip control, off-road ABS and quick shifter is on. These are kind of like the basic information about how it is set now, but I can obviously configure that in my own way. So for example, slip adjuster, I can set it to be 7 as my default. Dynamic slip adjust, if the terrain changes and it would provide better traction with reduced slip adjuster, it will do it for me automatically and then go back to my default setting. This is the new feature on KTM motorcycle. ABS mode, it's off-road or road. Traction control, rally, because we are setting this in the slip adjust setting. Quick shifter, on or off. Throttle response, it can be rally, this is the most aggressive. We have street, which is the most gentle, and then in the middle is off-road, that is somewhere in between the 2. And then again, display mode. By default, this is reduced, and this is how it looks like on the main screen. Okay, so we only have the speed in the center, the gear indicator, like the standard indicator lamps here, and then the slip adjust that you can change on the fly. Okay, so we have covered the 3 ride modes. Now let's go for the info section. And these are the basic information about trip 1, trip 2, coolant temperature, oil temperature, the battery voltage, the distance that this motorcycle has traveled, clock and date, service information, and some warnings. And the warnings are obviously that the emergency off switch is pressed, and I also have the sign stand folded out. Then navigation. This is enabled when you connect your phone to the unit, and you can navigate turn by turn to your last destination, your favorites, and this one favorite is this is a KTM Platz 1 in Mattighofen. That's interesting. But also points of interest. So if you're looking for example, for fuel station, it will search for the nearest fuel station and you can start navigating to that fuel station. That is pretty good. So that's navigation. Then you have audio. You can still change tracks, change volume. So for example, I will go with the volume up now. Next track. Next. Previous. And then play it. Then you can make phone calls. You can either have your favorites or last calls. You can answer and make phone calls. And now the last part of the dashboard are the settings. You can set the favorites here, the ones that we've been looking at the beginning. So you can set favorite 1, favorite 2, favorite 3, 4, 5 and 6. And you can choose. Let me show you what is available to choose from. So for example, connectivity, heated grips, temperature, trip 1, average speed, average fuel consumption, time, and then the same for trip 2, low fuel trip, clock, date, battery voltage, coolant temperature, odometer, ABS mode, traction control and motor slip regulation, quick shifter, connectivity. Okay, so these are all of the options that are available to be set as your favorites. Then we have the whole section about connectivity, Bluetooth enabled or disabled, your connected phone, your connected headset, and the headset type could be either Bluetooth or corded, which is interesting. Okay, that's all from connectivity. Shift light is not yet available for me because this is being enabled after the first service. So for now I don't have it, but then it will allow me to set the RPM level when the dash will start flashing for me to change the gear up. Then clock and date, units. Okay, units we have kilometers and miles. Temperature we got Celsius and Fahrenheit. Consumption, there are like 10 or even more ways to measure the consumption. I have it in liters per 100 kilometer, but you know, kilometer per liter. US gallons per 100 miles, and so on. There are plenty of options. UK gallons, miles per liter, and so on and so on. And that's all about units. Languages. English, German, Italian, French, Spanish, and then again English. Heating is about heated grips. I don't have them, so not an option for me. And the extra functions, the rally mode, motor slip regulation and quick shifter, and dynamic slip adjust. These are all additionally paid options, so you can have them for first 1,500 kilometers or about a bit less than 1,000 miles, but then you have to decide if you want them or not. And then some other things that for example, navigation is a part that we've already discussed. Outgoing calls, remote control mode. Have no idea what that does. I will have to check that in the manual. And these are all of the functions of the dash. Okay, thank you for watching. See you next time. Cheers.